Hey, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. My name is Patrice Malloy. I am the Affluent CFO, and I am here to talk to you about something very important today. If you have not been living under a rock, you probably know that artificial intelligence is on the rise. Everything is moving in that direction as far as technology is concerned, business, enterprise, growth, profitability, etc. And I want to make sure that you are ready for it because if you are not leaning into AI and what it can do for you, you're going to be left behind. And that is not what I want for you. So I'm going to introduce myself. You're probably wondering, okay, who is this? Again, my name is Patrice Malloy. I am affectionately known as the AI Alchemist and the Affluent CFO. I empower female founders to build saleable, sustainable, scalable businesses that allow you to create more income, impact, and influence. And I do that by providing you with stellar fractional CFO, business optimization, and coaching and consulting services. And that is why I'm here today. I am going to talk to you about the artificial intelligence piece because I have been working in the AI space for the past 20 years. I have been certified in a number of different spaces, learning language models, creating GPTs, setting up systems, creating AI agents, all the things. And that is why I'm here. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and dive into it. Typically, I'll do a slide deck, but I'm like, why are we doing this? We're going to have a conversation and it's going to be amazing. Alrighty, so that is who I am. What I'm going to be talking to you about today is called the 7 AI powered prompts to grow your bank account fast. Because we don't have time to be fooling around in these parts, right? Sales cycles are longer. People are taking longer to decide on what they want to do and who they want to work with. And quite honestly, we need to make sure that we are filling that gap with qualified leads. And we are also able to, you know, work with our current clientele. We're able to provide the deliverables that have been promised to them, and we're still able to do our content creation, marketing, etc., all the things. Alrighty, so that's what we're going to be talking about. I just want to say hello to all the powerhouses who are joining me today, and I want to let you know that you can go ahead and scan that link or that QR code that's above me to get the playbook that I'm going to be talking about. It is going to help you with 7 incredible prompts to help you put more money in your bank account fast. Okay. So make sure you grab that. So I want to open up with the fact that profit does not come from working harder. Okay. It actually comes from working smarter and by partnering with people, systems, artificial intelligence, team members, et cetera, to make sure that you get there. And I just want to say that this is kind of like a reframe moment. Your next $1 million does not require more hustle. It actually requires strategy, a knowing that you're doing the work that you're supposed to be doing, and then smarter prompts. All right. And I want to dive in that because I think that there's this common misconception that whatever you put into artificial intelligence is going to give you a good result. And I know I'm probably not the first to say this, but garbage in, garbage out. Okay. If you put in a garbage prompt, you're going to get mediocre results back from that. And then it's going to look like it was created by artificial intelligence. It's going to sound very cookie cutter or commercial, and people are just not going to resonate with it. So I want you to make sure that you understand the importance of what is called prompt engineering. Okay. Engineering is the ability for you to create an instruction essentially for the artificial intelligence to carry out a task, a create a result, generate some sort of information, data analytics, etc. So if you have not pruned or trained your artificial intelligence agent, you're not going to have very good information. I like to liken it to, having a toddler, right? When our kids are little, we teach them certain things and it takes them a little bit of while to actually get the information and to be able to apply it. It's very similar when we talk about artificial intelligence. So you need to make sure that you're speaking to it in a language that it understands until it gets smarter and it builds upon what you've created. And then you can like take it to the moon. Okay. So I want you to understand that. So engineering or the prompt engineering is one of the most important pieces. You need to be very specific and explicit about what you ask your artificial intelligence agent to do so that you can actually receive the results that you're looking for. All right. And because we're talking about prompt engineering, I have what I've called the prompt method. And it's basically a framework that you're going to use to be able to turn AI into your profit partner. All right. And I'm going to also break down 6 shifts that will help create income, not just information, because information is everywhere. Information is a commodity. People can find that on the YouTube on the interwebs, on Facebook, all the places. We want to make sure that we're giving them transformational, executable, actionable information so that they can take their businesses to the next level. All right, so we're going to be talking about those 6 shifts and we're going to go ahead and dive in. So let's just be real for a moment. So artificial intelligence, AI, is not magic, but when you use it right, it feels like it is. So I just want you to think about that for a second. Let that just kind of like marinate, let it, fall across you so that you understand what we're going to get into. Okay? Because of this, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through those 6 powerful shifts that will help you stop working like a machine and start using one. Okay? Again, who am I? My name is Patrice Malloy. I'm the Affluent CFO. I have spent over 20 years in the finance, tax strategy, artificial intelligence, robotic process automation, gosh, software development and creation space, and fintech space. I'm a certified AI consultant. I'm a certified tax advisor. I'm a fractional CFO. I have spent time in investment banking, commercial banking, private banking, pricing evaluation, corporate taxation. I've created corporate financial statements. I've done all the things for business owners as well. And I have to say that I'm most proud of being a business owner. I'm most proud of helping other female founders build businesses that they love. And I've done that by leveraging my frameworks, by helping people understand what their challenges are and providing blueprints to resolve those challenges, and just by being a real person, right? Everybody has challenges. Nobody is exempt from them. And we just need to be able to understand what it is that our clients and our prospects and our friends and family and people are looking for and be able to provide it to them in a format that makes sense. All right. And here's just like a fun fact, right? I let me just tell you, like I said, I've been in the finance field for forever, but I really love this artificial intelligence wave. I've always been a techie at heart. I've also always been so interested in sociology and understanding why people do the things that they do. And that is what I have leveraged in my business and just in the way that I connect with people in general. So let's go ahead and move on. I just want to let you know that I'm here to help you thrive through this AI evolution. Okay. We're not just taking the scraps, we're not just like scratching the surface, but we're going to really dive deeply into what it can do for you and how it can transform your business. Alrighty. Let me ask you if you've heard this before. I need to hustle harder to make more money. AI is for tech bros. I'm not a numbers person. High level strategy isn't for me. I can't afford to do XYZ. It just doesn't make sense. Are any of these things sounding familiar to you? If they are, raise a little hand, a virtual hand. I'm raising my hand because it has sounded similar to me in the past. And I just have to tell you that these are lies, lies, lies. They are not true. And quite honestly, they are keeping us from reaching our levels of success and transformation and allowing us to do what it is that God has expected for us to do because of these things that we're thinking about. So I just want you to get rid of these beliefs. They're limiting beliefs, they are false, and we're going to be breaking those today. So I want to let you know that if any of these things have been living rent free in your mind, it is time for an eviction notice. Okay? So let's go ahead and continue. Now, I told you I was going to be breaking down the prompt method. So PROMPT method. What that stands for is P is position, R is going to be reprogram, O is optimize, M is multiply, P is personalize, and then T is turn that insight into income. When I open this up and I talk to you about prompt engineering, this is what I meant. There are different steps and levels to creating prompts for your artificial intelligence tools. You need to be able to build upon them so that you can create a holistic picture of what it is that you want your artificial intelligence to do. And that's why we're bringing down this method. Okay. It turns prompts into profit levers, and each letter equals one big shift with one powerful prompt. So I just want you to keep this in mind. So the first one is P for position. We want you to position your business. We want to be strategic versus scrappy. Not that there's anything wrong with being scrappy, but as we grow, as we elevate, as we expand, our services, as we bring teammates on, et cetera, we need to be able to be strategic. So here's a prompt that I'd love to share with you. Now, act as a strategic partner or a seasoned veteran strategist and help me map out tasks that I can delegate to AI this week. I'm just going to give you a minute to try that. Put it in your ChatGPT, put it into your Claude, your Copilot, your Gemini, whatever it is that you use, and I'd love for you to see those results. Because I want you to understand that positioning means stepping into CEO mode. And if we are business owners, we are supposed to be transitioning into that CEO role and act as a visionary of the business, right? So think about that. What we want to make sure is that we're thinking about what we can do outside of ourselves. What can we delegate? What can AI do for us? What can we automate? What can we make better, faster, more efficient? So be thinking about those things as a CEO. So again, try that prompt out. And again, grab the link or scan this QR code and you'll be able to get the actual full playbook that I'm talking about with some additional information. So stay tuned for that. Now, R, like we said, is going to be reprogrammed. And I want you to be able to reprogram your mindset. We're not talking about things like AI is not for me. I don't understand. I've already missed, the boat bus. I've already missed the train. You haven't. We are just in the very beginning era of this AI revolution and evolution. And I really want you to understand that you can get in now and still be incredibly successful. So we're going to reprogram your mindset. So AI is going to be reflecting on your money beliefs. And so here's another prompt for you. Write a money affirmation based on your business values and your goals. I just want you to understand that you're going to get an incredible, incredible mantra, response, etc. But I want you to also understand that AI cannot outperform your mindset. It listens to your limitations, but we want to make sure that we are not actually acting upon those limitations. We're not letting those limitations stop us from doing what it is that we want to do. We want to make sure that we're feeding the atmosphere with wealth and energy and operating at a really high level and frequency, because when you do those things, you call into yourself, into your space, into your being, success, growth, elevation, increase, expansion. So I just want you to understand that. So again, artificial intelligence, and quite honestly, nothing can outperform your mindset. If you do not have the correct mindset, it doesn't matter what you do, quite honestly, things are not going to change. So it is the mindset along with the action and the belief that's going to take you to that next level. Alrighty, so we've done our P, we've done our R. Now we're moving to our O portion of the methodology and the framework. And this is to optimize. We want to make sure, again, that you are optimizing your prompts. When I opened this up, I said garbage in, garbage out. If you are not providing your artificial intelligence tool with the type of prompt that it's going to leverage to think critically and to build upon itself, then it's waste. Okay. And we don't do that. We don't have time to waste. So again, weak prompts equal weak results. Now here is a prompt and an example for you that you can leverage right now. Act as a seasoned Fortune 500 marketing expert. Then I would like for you to write 5 captions to generate DMs for my VIP offer. Put that into your tool and see what populates. Okay. And even if it is somewhat vanilla to start with, you can ask it additional questions. Say, hey, this is a really great result, but how can we deepen this? How can we make this better? How can we make our cash register ring and our bank account sing? Right. So think of something like that you can add to it and continue to build upon that so that you can get some really killer results. Because again, if you ask generic questions, you're going to get generic results. And if you want to have income increase exponentially, you need to ask your AI questions intentionally, strategically. There needs to be a reason for it. Okay. So I just want you to think about that as well. Our next letter in the framework is our M, and we're going to be talking about multiplying with AI workflows. And yes, you can create workflows. You can create AI agents that are going to help you do things automatically, as I like to call it. If you set them up appropriately, you can do things like have them go out and check the news for the most top of mind current events that are happening in your space. You can create agents to have an agenda set up for you each and every morning so you know what to expect. Or better yet, have it set an agenda up for you the evening before so that you can preface, everything that you need to do that evening and then just be ready to go that next morning. You can ask it to create a slide deck or a signature talk or a presentation for you, right? There are so many things that you can do. So when I say that, that's what I mean by multiplying your workflows with AI. Now I'm going to give you a prompt. All right. When we stack our prompts, like I talked about, when you add upon, you create automated systems and you create more income in your bank account. In addition to that, you take away a lot of that extra work headache, energy, stress, whatever that you could be using to expand your business in sales or speaking to people or pouring into your clients instead of having to do these things day to day. All right? Makes sense. So that's what I wanted to tell you. Now let's talk about a prompt for the multiply your AI workflows piece. Let's say we ask GPT or whatever to plan a 30-day content calendar based on my three brand pillars and my usual calls to action. So that's something that you can do. If you already have like company details, you've created, your core values, what your mission statement is, what it is that you want to do, who you serve, how you show up, you've created a brand voice, input that information and have it build upon that. If you haven't done that quite yet, you can ask your ChatGPT, your Claude, your Copilot, your Gemini, whatever you use, to build a company profile for you. You can ask it to help you identify core pillars. You can ask it to help you create a mission statement. You can ask it to help you create a business plan, all these things. So I really want you to think about just how incredible artificial intelligence is and how you can leverage it in your business. Okay? So that's a couple of prompts. So as you're thinking about that, as you're putting this information in, I want you to really think about what's coming up for you. What are you feeling? What are you thinking? Are you able to see the sheer possibility that can be accomplished or that you can achieve or that you can experience by leveraging these tools? I'm hoping that's what it is. My hope for you is that you are starting to understand what is going on and you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Okay. Now, we have gone through the first few letters. Now we are on to our second P, which is personalized with AI. I know you've heard this before too. The AI is generic, it's robotic, it is cold, but if you train it correctly, it can be warm, it can be um, conversational, it can be amazing. It can speak just like you. Okay. So understand that that is possible. Now, we want to be talking about tailoring our content, our results, etc., as opposed to it just being templated. Now, hear me out. After you tailor the information, you can absolutely template it for your team members, for clients, for prospects, for whoever you want to leverage that information, but you need to create it first. So, in that same vein, let's talk about a prompt that we can use. Okay, let's say act as a seasoned communications manager and or a copywriter and write a headline for an offer that helps six-figure women simplify cash flow. So from my perspective as a CFO, that's probably something I would ask it to do, right? So we put that into the prompt, or excuse me, we put that into our chat GPT or whatever we're using, and then we see what happens. Now, again, because I've already trained my AI, it's going to come up with something incredible for me. If you are new to this, you are going to need to train it once again. So you can still ask it that question, but you can, expand upon it. We talked about building those prompts or stacking. So once you get your result, you can say something like, oh, that's amazing. But what if I wanted you to create core values from the perspective of my ideal avatar? And then it'll give you that answer. And then based on that answer, you can ask it some more information. So again, you want to continue speaking to it so that it understands how you operate, how you think, how your conversation should flow, and the type of results that you should get. All right. And I just want to say again, so AI is not about sounding robotic. It's literally about using real data to speak directly to your dream client. Do you need to hear that twice? AI is not about sounding robotic. It's about using real data to speak directly to your ideal or dream client. Write that down. That's a writer downer. Okay, y'all? That is a writer downer. We're going to move on to our last letter, which is the T, and that is turning our AI into income. Okay, so here's another prompt. Based on my $200,000 revenue goal, if that's you, what price do I need to charge 20 clients? So this is going to give us not only insight, but it's going to give us an action, which is going to lead to income. So again, we want to be thinking about it very strategically. What is my prompt asking our AI to do? What is the action for the AI to accomplish or achieve or complete? And then what is going to lead to an increase in our income? So think about that also as you're creating your prompts. Because we're not here for any more financial guessing games. That's not what we want to do. We want to make sure that we are using AI to lead like a CFO each and every day. So for those of us who are like, oh, well, I'm not ready for a CFO 101, which I disagree because everybody needs an accountant, a CFO, a strategist, etc. You can start with this. You can have a virtual CFO assistant, which by the way, I've created. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know and I can get that over to you. But again, we're not guessing financially. We need to understand clearly what our numbers look like and what we need to do to reach those revenue goals. All right, it's 2025. We're not playing games anymore. We're not guessing. We're not going to say, I think I know what I made this month, in my bank account. We're going to actually know, and we're going to make informed business decisions based upon that. All right. So let's just kind of recap that shift. So we talked about the prompt methodology, and I just want to make sure that we understand some of these things. As a mental shift, you want to talk about using AI like a team member, right? It's your free team member. It is your free augmented staff member. So make sure that you're using it that way. Make sure that you're understanding the importance of prompt engineering, building very clear, concise, executable prompts for your artificial intelligence tool, and then expanding upon those, what we call stacking. You also want to think about turning those insights that's given to you based on the AI into results, which lead to income for you. And then you want to talk about profit without burnout. I don't know if you've been here, but you're doing all the things, you're wearing all the hats, you're working night and day, right? It's late nights, early mornings, but you still don't feel like your business is moving in the way that it should. We need to make sure that we're not working on a burned out brain, right? The candles burning at both ends tend to give us a lot of challenges. So we want to make sure that that's not what we're doing. If you remember nothing else from this conversation, remember this. You're not working harder per se, you're prompting smarter. All right. That's also a writer dinner. So let's just do like a quick check, right? I like to do this. I like to place the hand over my heart. And I just like to say, I don't hustle harder. I prompt smarter. My words create wealth. AI is my power tool. And I am my greatest asset. So I just want you to say that aloud to yourself a couple times. Let it land. Let it, sprinkle all over you. Let it fester inside of your heart so that you can continue to thrive upon that. Okay. And I want you to shift something in your brain, in your heart, in your body, in your mindset right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the prompt methodology. I want to make sure that I give you some time to ask questions. Also, to let you go ahead and scan that code to get the playbook. Again, my name is Patrice Malloy. I want you to make sure that you get that free. Okay. That is an incredible tool. Again, reference that QR code to grab the playbook. If this made sense to you, if it resonated with you, if you want to learn some more, go ahead again, grab that playbook. My information is inside. I can also be reached on Facebook, direct message, etc. But I just want to close with this. Prompts are not just tools. They are wealth lovers. Okay. Second is you don't need to be the machine, but you do need to be able to run one. And when we talk about running machines, we're talking about your AI tools. We're talking about your business as a well-oiled machine. We're talking about being able to run your life the way you desire it, have the lifestyle, have the things, the travel, the tithing, the giving, the expansion of God's kingdom, whatever it is that you want to do. Make sure that you have that in your heart as well. And then the third thing is I want you to prompt like a powerhouse and then profit like a queen. All right. So you were never meant to do it all. I know we think about this, especially as women, but you were meant to lead it all. And with the right words spoken to the right system, you will. Okay. So I'm going to close with that. I want to say thank you again. My name is Patrice Malloy. It's been such a pleasure speaking with you all. Click that QR code, grab the playbook. It is going to be invaluable. I promise you that. If you want to learn more, you could also connect with me through the playbook, through, Facebook, through LinkedIn. I am on all the places and I just look forward to speaking with you. All right. Until next time, stay profitable, prompt purposely, and build that business. All right. Take care. Bye bye.